A 65-year-old grandmother has been charged with aggravated manslaughter following the tragic death of a 7-month-old baby girl, only months after her elder brother drowned in the same woman's care. Uriel Shock died in the backseat of an SUV left unattended by grandmother Tracy Nix in Florida, 22nd of November. The former school principal said that she just forgot about the infant after driving home from lunch and going to practice piano, leaving Uriel alone all afternoon in 90-degree Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius heat with the windows up. 7-month-old baby girl Uriel Shock left in the car in the Florida heat. The horrific story comes only 3 months after Uriel's brother Ezra drowned in a pond aged 16 months old whilst unattended at the same grandmother's home days before Christmas 2021. The grandmother was at home at the time. She had fallen asleep on the couch in the living room whilst her partner was running errands. When she woke up, she couldn't find the child, Ezra, so she called her husband. The grandmother then found young Ezra lying face down, about knee-deep in the large pond within feet of their home. She didn't call 911, but she did start CPR, which is something that she learned during her time as an educator. The grandmother's husband called the mother of Ezra and let her know that something had happened. Kalia, the mother, who was then 6 months pregnant, sped to her mother's house, hitting 85 miles per hour on country roads, and she was involved in a head-on collision with another car. Can you believe that? Kayla, she receives a call that something happened to Ezra, her 16-month-old child. So even though she was 6 months pregnant, she jumps in the car, speeds, tries to get to her mother's house, the grandmother's house, as quickly as possible. And in her haste, she was involved in a head-on collision with another car. We're told that Ezra drowned in the pond, again just feet away from the grandmother's home, whilst the grandmother was passed out on the couch, taking a nap. And the grandmother was not charged. Why? Well, because it was described as being a one-time lapse of judgment. She was otherwise considered a stand-up member of the community, a former school principal. She was given a pass. After the death of Ezra, Kayla, the mother of Ezra and the mother of Uriel, as well as her partner Drew Shock, they didn't trust the grandmother. They didn't trust Tracy Nix at all. They wouldn't let their 4-year-old firstborn stay with the grandmother. But on the 22nd of November, the parents did let the grandmother look after Uriel. Kayla says, "We were anxious, but I loved my mother and I am the daughter that wanted her mum in her life in some capacity, and in that moment, I thought I could believe in second chances." So she let Uriel stay unsupervised with the grandmother, and the grandmother left Uriel all day in the car, again in the Florida heat. The grandmother's husband, Nunne Nix, performed CPR on Uriel but was unsuccessful. At this point, Kayla, the mother of Ezra and Uriel, is angry, and she's calling for the imprisonment of her own mother. She demands it. That's pretty much all the details within the article. I've sourced this from a Daily Mail article. There is a link at the bottom of the second page of the flyer. Of course, full condolences to the mother and the mother's partner, the father of both Ezra and Uriel, I believe. They do have at least one more child. So, of course, full condolences. I'm glad that the grandmother has been charged with aggravated manslaughter in regards to the death of 7-month-old Uriel Shock. And I hope that she's not given a pass this time either. I doubt she will be. I think the mother's calls for imprisonment will be heeded. That's what I would hope. But then I do recall somewhat similar cases where imprisonment has been avoided or low sentences have been given. I mean, there are cases of parents whose children have accessed guns and have shot and killed another sibling, and the parents don't get charged. There are cases of that I can remember over the last year or so. There have been multiple incidences of children left in vehicles, or it happens all over the world. There have been a few cases in Australia, some in which the children have luckily been discovered in time, others where the families haven't been so lucky. And I think in general, sentencing has been light. People do make mistakes, people do forget. I don't think it's about forgiveness, but perhaps understanding. But I think regardless of that, if someone's responsible for the death of a child, they need to pay. Whether or not it was an accident, whether or not it was unintended, there needs to be some respite given to society and and probably most importantly, Kayla in this case, the mother of both of the children. For her sake, the grandmother needs to be imprisoned because her loss has been too much. And I shouldn't ignore the father. His loss has also been too much to bear. And I would think, I don't leap at the chance of victim blaming, but I do try to speak my own mind. I would think that Kayla would have some level of guilt. She made the decision to allow the grandmother to look after Uriel unattended, unsupervised. And as normal as that sounds, to leave a child with the grandmother, as normal as that sounds, it had tragic consequences as it did before. I've mentioned forgiveness a few times. I am not fond of the concept of forgiveness. I know that it works for a lot of people. Everyone says how great forgiveness is. I've never trusted the concept of forgiveness, and I've considered it for a long time, and I just think that the concept of forgiveness is flawed, or rather it really needs to be used very, very sparingly. Using forgiveness as the go-to solution to repair relationships or repair ill feelings or such, I think that's folly. I think that's foolish because it leads to trusting those that have shown they can't be trusted. So you just carry on playing with fire, and I don't think it's worth the risk in a lot of cases. So I do feel that the parents, perhaps the mother, Kayla in particular, are going to be feeling huge amounts of guilt, and hopefully that subsides at some point. Hopefully they'll be able to find some light in their lives. It's going to be difficult. I'm going to wrap things up at this point. Thanks for listening, guys. If you do like the video, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. If you're happy to consider becoming a member, that would be great. If you'd like to give me some feedback, good or negative, that's perfectly fine. That would be appreciated. Don't listen to too many of my videos. Watch one or two, dip in, dip out. You can even unsub if you like. No, you're not allowed to unsub. But do go and watch some puppy videos, kitten videos, something a little bit more uplifting, and try to enjoy your weekend.